Today, it's nearly impossible to believe the Earth is anything but round.
Our common sense, everyday perception of the Earth, it is flat as far as we can tell. It is motionless as far as we can tell. And everything in the sky is revolving around us as far as we can tell. If nobody told us otherwise, we'd logically assume that the Earth was flat, motionless, with everything in the sky revolving around us.
It's all fraud, it's all fake. Pretty much everything NASA puts out is fraudulent.
But for most of our history, humans have thought the Earth was flat. The one concept our ancient ancestors were missing was gravity. Gravity's effects are the key to determining whether the Earth is actually flat or not.
So, another big coincidence. Gravity is the perfect force to negate the outward push of the spin. So, another major astronomically unlikely coincidence regarding the globe model has to do with gravity happening to be sufficient to perfectly balance us stuck to the Earth as it spins an arbitrary 1,000 miles per hour plus near the equator.
On a sphere, gravity pulls in the same direction everywhere on the surface. But on a disk, gravity changes direction as you move toward the edge. At the center, you feel a downward pull, just like on spherical Earth.
Think about the fallacy of the globe model for a minute. The moon is supposedly so far away that it can safely orbit the Earth without being sucked into the event horizon of the pull of the Earth's gravity. Now keep in mind, the Earth's gravity should be about 6 times higher than that of the moon. So how is it possible for the moon to be well beyond the event horizon of the Earth's gravity, but the waters in our oceans are somehow within the pull of the moon's gravity? This is totally counterintuitive and literally makes absolutely no sense. You cannot have both in this scenario. Either the moon is close enough to have its gravity pull on the oceans, or the moon is so far away that it's beyond the event horizon of the Earth's gravity. But you cannot have both. It's illogical.
But as you move out, gravity starts pulling sideways as well as downwards. This would wreak havoc on sports played in different parts of the world. A ball thrown straight up in the air midway out would curve down and backwards toward the disk's center. Plus, that ball wouldn't go nearly as high or far as a ball thrown up at the edge, where gravity's downward pull is practically zero.
Don't believe in gravity. Don't believe in fantasy. Don't believe 'cause the theory's all it is. It's never been proven, but they teach it to the kids.
But sports are just the beginning. Since plant stems grow opposite to the direction of gravity, an effect called negative gravitropism, you'll see forests grow at an increasingly sharp angle the farther you are from the center.
Y'all say gravity is this bullshit. If it's heavy, it's gonna fall just like dropping the bricks. Look, scientists say we got here from the Big Bang. Scientists, y'all can suck on my big thing. Y'all say gravity is this bullshit. If it's heavy, it's gonna fall just like dropping the bricks. Suck my dick.
Continue toward the edge and you'll feel like you're climbing a hill that's growing steeper with each step as the backward pull of gravity takes over. At Earth's end, that hill will feel like a 90-degree cliff pulling you straight back to the center.
What sort of magic is gravity that it can glue people's feet to the ball Earth?
Gravity sucks, gravity pulls, gravity don't follow rules. Spinning ball, it makes us sick. Gravity is magic.
But if you could make it over the edge and stand on the thin outer part of the disk, you will feel a downward pull, just like on spherical Earth. However, living here would be like living in a desert. Gravity's backwards effects pull on the oceans too, making it impossible for any water to reach the edge.
Hello, Flat Earth researchers, debaters, and especially debunkers. Very briefly, think about that famous experiment where they drop a feather and a hammer in a vacuum, and those two objects apparently falling to the ground at the same speed is proof of gravity, right? Well, actually, it completely disproves gravity. First of all, the experiment was taking out the air molecules, so the feather has no resistance against the air molecules. Fine, okay? Now, gravity is said to be an inverse square law. So that should naturally affect lighter objects much more readily than it affects heavy objects.
Instead, sea levels will gradually rise as you travel in, making the world's center an aquatic metropolis. So, the next time you see an apple fall straight to the ground, be thankful the Earth is round. Because if it were flat, that apple might actually hit you in the face.
The law of gravity was discovered by Sir Isaac Newton in 1687. That's almost 200 years ago, Uncle Evan.
But there is only one law. The law of God.
What is gravity?
You have no idea. Okay, next question.
Wow.
No, here's the difference. We can describe gravity. Okay. We can say what it does to other things. We can measure it, predict with it. But when you start asking, like, what it is, I don't know. Einstein, in an Einsteinian answer, we would say gravity is the curvature of space and time. And objects will follow the curvature of space-time, and we interpret that as a force of gravity.